Thank you very much. Chairperson, we're here once again to make hollow noise about our commitment to the emancipation of women in this country, as it has become tradition every August in this House. We've just witnessed how a man can undermine a woman right inside the chamber. Needless to remind you that Ministers Mashabane, Ngakula, Sisulu attended the AU in January 2016, which commemorated women's rights. This parliament has ratified Maputo Protocol, which emanated from gross genital mutilation of women's genitals. And today, we talk about mutilation of women's wombs. Talking about a plight of women and the right of women to equality across the board has become a box-ticking exercise for the ruling elite, year in, year out. We come here to pontificate while the country is burning. As we speak now, the report on the Commission for Gender Equality, which investigated the sterilization of HIV-positive women against their wishes, is gathering dust. Many of the victims are still hoping to find closure that may never come. The CGE report made a number of recommendations, particularly to the Department of Health, cutting across a number of themes, including legislative reforms and for ensuring that the health professionals responsible for the forced sterilization of these women are made to account. Nothing to date. But this has fallen on deaf ears, as all are concerns of women in this country. As we pontificate here, by the end of this week, thousands of women would have been sexually harassed and sexually assaulted, beaten up by those they live and have fallen in love with. The department mustn't dare challenge this report on the basis of prescription, because human rights do not expire. The fact that a trusted hospital doctor coerced a woman to lose a life in order to gain a life through ARVs was to be sterilized can never be prescribed. By the end of this week, thousands of women would have been asked to perform sexual favors in order to make it in government offices, in creative arts industry, in police stations, and in universities. By the end of this week, thousands more women would have been raped by their partners, their fathers, and random men they meet on the streets. All this is happening because we have failed as legislatures here. And these women have been failed by the executive and the judiciary. Just today, Hlengiwe's perpetrators' bail hearing took a center stage, and there's nothing about the actual killing of an innocent woman. Perpetrators always get priority because they have rights. However, the victims in this country do not have rights. We need a change of plan. We need to decriminalize sex work now. We urgently need to have a standalone parliamentary committee that will provide oversight to issues of gender cases of gender-based violence. And there are monthly plans for curbing this crisis. It must be briefed by the NPA on challenges encountered in prosecuting cases of this nature, and they must account on all unopposed bails granted to sexual offenders. Social development must also account to this committee on progress made with providing shelters for abused women and children. Further, we need far-reaching legislative reforms in this country to do away with bail for those charged with sexual offenses. The conservation in our judiciary must stop being about the rights of the perpetrators. It must be focused on the rights of the victims to gain justice. We will soon put pressure on the Portfolio Committee of Justice and Correctional Services to finalize the Domestic Violence Amendment Bill, the Criminal Matters Amendment Bill, and the Sexual Offences and Related Matters Amendment Bill. In the meantime, both the executive and parliament must pull their socks up. Establishing a committee to keep institutions of the state accountable will not need a legislative change. We cannot do this like we wait at home and we fiddle with our thumbs. The Speaker of the National Assembly and the Chairperson of the NCOP must ensure that the safety of women is taken care of through the Parliament. We are here today to plead with the Chair of Chairs in Parliament to make sure that a committee that's going to do oversight on GBV cases is established. Not a committee of women, not a committee of police, not a committee of justice, but a committee that identifies the cases and ensure that every monster is locked up in jail and kept away successfully in this country. We want to ensure that the police station have sexual offense units that are operative, that are empowered, that have got enough detectives to take care of the victims. Resources must be deployed to police stations. We must get psychologists in police stations to assist and comfort the victims in order to tell their stories without fear.
Thank
we
you
need to
very
ensure
much.
that our courts are lenient towards the are not lenient towards the accused. We need a new process to obtain interdicts and court orders of women. They must never be sent to go and find police to deliver court orders to the perpetrators. Thank you very much.